Thank you for joining us here on Gray But Not Old. We are excited to have our guest today, Sandra. Welcome, Sandra. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to jump right in and ask you the very first question. Can you talk about an adverse circumstance that at the time felt as if you never make it through?
Well, there's two, but I'll briefly say the first one was when after 24 years of marriage, um, I got a divorce. Something that I was not expecting.
Mhm.
I just think that after 24 years, my husband and I had grown apart, and I didn't know that we had grown apart, but obviously he thought we had grown apart, and so he just wanted a divorce and go our separate ways, and that took me about 6 years to get over that because we had teenage sons. Well, one son was a teenager and the other was younger, but it caught me off guard, and I could support myself and so forth because I was working as a teacher, but it was difficult. It took me a while, but with the Lord's help, I
Mhm.
was able to make it through. I didn't have to have a counselor. I just prayed and asked the Lord to help me and show me how to, conduct business, because my ex-husband was a financial planner, so he did a lot of the business end of it. But I learned how to do it. And so I've been divorced now 20 years and I'm good. And my second episode was when I discovered through a mammogram in 2020 that I had breast cancer. That was a shock because in my family, uh, only my niece had breast cancer, but other than that, no one that I knew of. Now, diabetes runs rampant in the family. And so I was told I had diabetes in I guess in 1998. That's when I discovered that I had diabetes. And so I've been managing it, but the breast cancer thing was definitely a shock. I went in for a mammogram. Same day they called me back and they said, we see something, and can you come back in on a Wednesday? And that was on a Monday. And I went in on Wednesday and they did a biopsy and everything. It took out some little cells or whatever. And on Friday, they called me back and said, "You have breast cancer." And I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yes." Well, within 3 weeks, I had my surgery. And then I had to go through chemotherapy and 15 rounds of radiation. And of course, with chemotherapy comes thrush mouth, hives. All my hair was gone everywhere. And my nails turned black. that, that was really traumatic because I said, are my nails going to be black the whole time? I mean, forever? But of course, within, a year, the blackness had grown out. And now, unfortunately, my hair did not come back the way it left. I have now male pattern baldness, but that was ironic because when I discovered that I had diabetes, I went to a dermatologist and he said, you're going to eventually have male pattern baldness. And I thought, now that's nuts. But sure enough, 20 years later, after all my hair left from the chemotherapy, when it came back as male pattern baldness. I look like some of the deacons at the church. But anyway, that was traumatic. Oh my God, it took me at least 2 years well, like I said, I had cancer in 2020 and it's 2024 now. Um, that that really rocked me. That rocked me for 2 years till I finally said, okay, Lord, you know the hairs on my head and you've chosen to eliminate a whole lot of them. So I just started wearing my hair bald. I just started shaving my head. And then Kaiser had a gala 2 years ago, 2022. And a lady was on the video. It was virtual, and she had henna design on her head. And I thought, well, what is that? So then the next year, Kaiser had a gala in person in San Leandro, and the lady walked through the door. That was it for me. I said, "You're the lady on the video. What is that on your head?" And she said, "Henna." And of course, she gave me the name of the lady that, you know, draws the henna on your head. And so that's what I'm wearing, henna on my head, henna design. And I love it. And I feel good about myself not having hair because I have something on my head. And she is such a professional designer for henna for your head. And so I feel real good about myself. And it lasts about 3 weeks. And then I go the next month. I go about a week just bald and everything, just shaving my head. And then I go back and I get it done again. So I've had it on my head now about 6 months and I love it. So that's my story.
Beautiful, Sandra. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about the second question. When you hear the expression live, love, and laugh, what comes to mind?
Live, love, and laugh. I'll say it again. Live, love, and laugh. I'm alive.
Mm.
That's one thing I think of when I hear the word live. I am alive because they caught, my cancer in time enough to remove it with the treatments and everything. And so I'm in remission. And so as far as I'm concerned, I'm finished with it. And I'm able to live. I'm able to go back and live my life normally, which is I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for life itself. When you wake up each morning and you're able to breathe and get out and walk, and that's a privilege. That's a God-given gift, and I appreciate it. Um, live, love. I love my children. I'm thankful for my children. I have 2 sons, and I'm thankful because when I think, what could have gone wrong in pregnancy and so forth, and now I'm saying my children, my sons, one is 49 and the other is 45, and they're both doing well. So they're the love of my life. They're the gifts that God gave me, and I appreciate it. I also, I'm a choir director, and I enjoy working with the people that I work with, singing and teaching music and directing. And so that's living for me and life for me. Laughter, I love to laugh. I like to watch. Now, I like to watch cartoons. Okay, that I get when I get depressed or down or just tired. I will flip on a channel, the Disney Channel, and watch cartoons. And my son has 2 cartoons that he does the voice over on Super Kitties. He's the Mr. Puppy Paws, who's a little puppy, but he's just mischief. And I love to watch that and listen to his voice. And then he has Kiff, in which he's a father of a squirrel. And that's fun to watch. Also, he has done voiceovers on books, a Star Wars book with 10 stories, and he does the voices for each character in each story. And I love that. And so that helps me to laugh. And then I have some crazy friends that help me to laugh. And so it's just good. It's just good.
I love it. I love the cartoon part.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
in closing, What is your treasured advisement to share with the younger?
Um, hmm. My advice to the younger people, I'll say my suggestions to the younger people is learn your history, learn our history, Black history. They're trying to take Black history out of the schools. And if you make a mistake, you don't, well, America has made mistakes and they've repeated it and repeated it, and now definitely trying to repeat it. But my recommendation or my suggestion is read about our history. One of the books that I read that I found very, very enlightening was the 1619 Project by Nicole Hannah. That was very enlightening, that book. And I think they were definitely trying to take that off the market. And then another one that I found very interesting was the title Surrender White People by D.L. Hughley, the comedian. Oh, that book was very intense, very intense. And then I've read Caste. That's being real popular now. I think they're making a movie. They did make a movie about Caste, and the author for that book was Isabel Wilkerson. That was enlightening, and also the movie was very enlightening. And then I enjoyed Becoming Michelle Obama. In life, we may start off one way, and before you leave this world, God may have blessed you and allowed you to do some great things. And you have to push forward with that. Whatever your dream is, don't lose your dream, because dreams can be possible. We think they're not. Oh, well, I'm just dreaming that. No, you stick with that dream if there's something that you really want to do. And the last book I would recommend is called Read Until You Understand. And it's the profound wisdom of Black literature by Farah Griffin. But young people have to remember or learn. If they don't know our Black history, they need to learn it.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today on Gray But Not Old, the Imprints of Wisdom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.